I started watching a show recently called Gurren Lagann, and I thought I would make a quick review for all of you. Hey everyone, it's Jeremy from Legacy Comics, and today I thought I would review Gurren Lagann and give you my take on what I thought of the show as a whole. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to tell me that you enjoy the content on this channel, and make sure you join the Discord, and on with the video. Also, before the video starts, I want to announce that something huge is going to happen in the next video I will upload, so stay tuned for that. One more thing before we start. I'd like to shout out King Fox Kage on Discord, the Gurren Lagann guy on Twitter, for the great recommendation for this show and the surrounding content on this channel. The show is one of my all-time favorites, and it was really good, so on with the review. Okay, so Gurren Lagann. Isn't that the show about drills? Well, yes. But more importantly, it's a show about pushing past one's limits and breaking through what one believes to be impossible. Take the show's catchphrase, for instance. Go beyond the impossible and kick reason to the curb. That's how Team Gurren rolls. Without spoiling too much, I'd like to start my review with a little bit of the plot. The main characters, Simone and Kamina, are the bread and butter of this show, making the beginning of the show flow almost seamlessly. Within the world of Gurren Lagann, Earth is a very different place than what we would know today. Above ground, everything seems rather barren. And below ground, well, that's where the show starts us off. Underground is where the people are. They live in darkness. As they use their drills, they dig deep into the ground, looking for anything to help their lives just be a little bit better. They live in small communities and are told never to think about the world above. Well, that obviously isn't what happened. There are always those guys who are always ready to have an adventure. Simone and Kamina are quite the rebels. Well, at least Kamina is. Simone is pretty indecisive. But Kamina drags him along to see the world above, after a giant mecha thingy crashes straight through their village. So they decide to explore the outside world, full of nice and beautiful terrain. Just kidding, it's basically just a barren wasteland with giant metal guys running all over to kill you. That's all I'll give you for the plot. Otherwise, there will be a load of other spoilers, and trust me, it gets way better as the show progresses. But since I enjoyed the show so much, I don't want to spoil it for you. Let's talk about my thoughts on the plot. While the overarching idea of the show can sometimes be childish, it's really fun and, well, it keeps you hooked. With a really bright moments of joy, and then the sad moments of sadness, silly moments, and a plethora of other emotions, the show will keep you on your feet. The pacing for this series is also very vital as it plays a very large role, and arguably one of the strongest parts of the series. Because of the pace of this series, I personally never felt bored while watching the show, and really it was able to keep me entertained for the most part during this quarantine, and that was a really good thing. The 27 episode series didn't feel extremely long compared to other shows that I have watched, and it was really comprehensive despite the fast pace. In fact, there were very few times that the show slacked on keeping the pace lively. The escalation of the plot, along with the pacing, really makes the show effective. The characters within this show also bring the show to life. With an amazing dynamic between the characters, their actions, the relationships, and the teamwork, the characters just work. I mean, who would have guessed that a ragtag group of silly characters could produce such an amazing plot? They really set up a very intriguing relationship between characters, produce results, heartbreak, and most importantly, hope. Hope for a better tomorrow. Hope that they will no longer have to tremble in fear underground. Kamina initially takes the foreground of the plot, leaving Simone as a nervous and scared side character. But through the plot, Simone's growth as a character by the end of the show really seems fluid and well done. Just the interactions with other characters really makes the show stand out, and characters like Yoko, Nia, and Rasiu help even more. The animation throughout the show is also nothing to be scoffed at. There are very intense scenes with very impressive animation to accompany the tones presented therein. And the show spins and gets stronger both plot-wise and power-wise. The animation grows along with it. Speaking of power, if you guys want a power scale of Gurren Lagann, that might be a video I can make. Anyways, the animation in the show is very well done, and the movies are even more well done, as they have even more well done animation inside of them. But they're shorter and leave out some of the fun plot points from the show. With any good series, you need a very good antagonist, and the show did not relent, with throwing literally everything it possibly could at us. Initially with Spiral King, the show tried to create a very well done character, but it kept growing and improving from there. Lastly, I want to give one quick rundown on how the powers work in this universe, and trust me, I will not linger too long on this point, because if I do, I'll get into some intense spoilers. So, the people of the Gurren Lagann universe all have this thing called spiral power, and essentially it fuels their giant mechas called gunmen and help them survive daily. Now, spiral power is essentially one's willpower. Now, if you think about Green Lanterns and their rings, they also run off of willpower. Maybe I'll make a what if between Gurren Lagann and Green Lanterns. Wink wink. In Gurren Lagann, the more willpower or spiral energy you have and exert, the stronger your gunman will be. Obviously, there are still some other variables at play, but in essence, that's all one needs to know about spiral power before going into the show. Once again, stuff in this show progresses very quickly and to insane extents. Once again, before this video ends, I would like to say thanks to the Gurren Lagann guy for this great recommendations. If you are out there and you haven't watched Gurren Lagann, trust me, you need to watch it and you won't be disappointed. It's honestly one of the best animes I've ever watched, and it's definitely worth that watch. If you like this video, make sure to leave a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe and share the video with your friends. Also, you can turn on that notification bell if you want to be alerted for the next time I post a video. Finally, make sure to put your questions, ideas, thoughts down in the comments below. And remember, next week there's a big announcement, so stay tuned. This is Jeremy from Legacy Comics, signing out. See ya!